can see my screen, right? You see the Rotary onboarding getting started. Perfect. So this is the first session that 5010 will host on Rotary Clubs getting started on Rotary5010gives.org. So as an introduction, my name is Gina Morris and I'm the trainer here for Rotary Club. We also have a dedicated customer support team for all of Rotary. So Cynthia's here on the line. If you do have questions, it's a small group today, so feel free to stop me. Otherwise, you can also chat Cynthia and she'll be, monitoring that. And before or after, during this training or when you're ready to hop on the platform, reach out to us. You can either send us an email, which I listed here, or give us a call directly on our direct line here, and we'll be happy to help. So taking a step back, what Eventgroove has done for District 5010 was create an online fundraising platform. That platform contains 6 different online fundraising types, from raffles, a-thons, auctions, crowdfunding, sweepstakes, and sales. So you'll be able to, once we're through with training, log on, create your own raffle or online fundraising campaign and manage it for your club. But before we dive into those fundraising types, today's session is really just about getting started and getting introduced to the platform. So you can log on, create your account, and then create your club's account. So getting started really just starts with these 6 steps here. So we'll go through these six steps and then we'll walk through and we'll actually do this step together. So you can, when you're ready, create your account and register your club. So we recommend one person from each club to nominate themselves to register their club. And then once you're in there and you're registered, you can invite your other members into it so that you can create and manage and do your online fundraising together. But just having that one person nominated will ensure that you get your club registered once and then that you can start building your team. So let's go ahead and hop in. I will note, I'll send you the deck after this as well. I've added some great additional resources for getting started. So if you're more of a read it versus a watching or recording type person, just know you have these articles that are also super helpful when you're looking to get started on the fundraising platform. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first page that your club will go to when first signing up is go Rotary5010gives.org/start. This is the first page. If you've never logged onto the platform before, you'll go to this page and I'll include that in an email link so you can quickly access it. This is the page where you will first register yourself and create your account, and then step 2 will be registering your club. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and get registered here. Set that password for my account, and then you'll see we got that first step done. We got that check mark, so we'll hit continue. The second step is registering your organization or registering your club. So a lot of the time, you'll be able just to enter in your EIN number or find your organization by typing in its name. So we have a database of nonprofits that we search for. So if we typed in Fairbanks Rotary, we'll see what comes up. So there is some suggestion here, maybe this one. So we have some options. If you see it, you can go ahead and select that organization in the database and then hit start fundraising. If you can't find it, that's totally fine too. All you need to do is select, I couldn't find the organization, I want to add it, and then answer some additional questions. So selecting the state that you're located in, yes, you're a 501c, and then entering that EIN number that you have. So it's really handy if you have your EIN number before you come in, then you can enter that information in here. And last will be entering in your club's name. Once you got all that information in, you'll hit Start Fundraising, and that will send you into the platform. So the first page you see here is called our Getting Started Guide, and that's really the goal, and what we're going to cover today is just going through the Getting Started Guide and making sure we understand what's needed from us before we can start publishing any fundraising campaigns. So the Getting Started Guide can be accessed at any time over here on the left-hand side. You might notice if you have a smaller screen, the page does optimize, so you can see everything accordingly. So if you don't see that left-hand nav, just click on the 3 lines next to the Rotary District logo up at the top, and that will expand it out. So the first getting started steps, there's really only 2 that are required for you to complete before you can publish any online fundraising campaigns. The first is to verify your account or to verify your club. So this is the process that we go through to make sure that your club is an actual club and that you are a member of that club and you're verified to receive funds on your club's behalf. So to verify your account, you can either click down here to verify it, or you can click up here on this yellow bar to verify your account. When we click that, it will note, hey, we need to complete your verification and you need to verify that status. So the wording here is a little off. We don't necessarily need you to be a 501c3. We just need you to be a 501c. And because you're associated with Rotary District 5010, you don't even need that IRS determination letter. All we really need from you is a screenshot that associates your name with your club's name. So a lot of clubs are using like a picture of the org chart, or if your name and email is on your club's website, taking a screenshot of that and uploading it here. Those would all be perfectly acceptable forms of verification. So because you're with 5010, that process is a lot cleaner and faster for you. So once you have that screenshot, you'll click Upload Verification, select and upload that file. And I might have chose a big file. And then once that's uploaded, you can hit Submit Verification right down here at the bottom. So this only needs to be done one time. So that's why it's nice to have that club nominee, have them come in and create their account and their club, get it verified, and then they can add the additional club members afterwards. So we'll go ahead and submit verification now. And when we do that, this banner will change from that yellow to a gray and let us know that our account's being verified. What that means is that information shot over to our verification team, and they're gonna compare, look at that screenshot, look at your username, and make sure that you're a legitimate club and a real human, and then approve you so that you can start publishing campaigns. Any questions so far now that we've got into the platform? Great. Okay, so you'll notice now that we've submitted our verification, we got that green check mark. And that's really the goal here on the Getting Started Guide, is just to go down the line in this list of items and get that green check mark next to each list. So the next is setting up payment processing. And remember, these 2 are the most important step. These details down here are optional. So when we set up our payment processing, that means we need to connect our Stripe account to our fundraising account that we just created. So you can access your payment processing by clicking here, or underneath the settings section, you can click on payment processing over here on the left. If you already have a Stripe account, you can connect your club Stripe account by just clicking here to connect that existing one. If you do not yet have a Stripe account, we recommend going into the platform and clicking Create a Stripe account directly from the platform to get your account set up. When you create a Stripe account, you'll just create that account on Stripe, and you'll need just some common information like your banking and account number, your routing number, so that Stripe knows where to send that money once it processes all those transactions. So I already have a Stripe account, so I'll go ahead and connect it, and we can just take a look at what that looks like. So it'll ask you to sign into your Stripe account with your Stripe information, and this may be you, or this might be your treasurer. A lot of clubs, will sit right next to their treasurer and they'll just do it together. If your treasurer needs to do it, you can invite them as a user, and your treasurer can come in here and do exactly what we're doing today to connect that. So we clicked connect my Stripe account. Once it's connected, it automatically shot me back to that payment processing page. And now you can see our direct funding is linked. We have the Stripe account username that it's linked to, and then we see our account status is connected. So this is great. This means that our Stripe account is up and running, and we can now publish campaigns because we can accept donations and we know where to send your money to. Any questions when it comes to connecting up your payment processing?
Gina, I guess I would just ask if we wanted, like, the treasurer, there's two people at the district. I'm on the Stripe account, but our treasurer would like to have access. Do I add him at Stripe, or do I add him through Eventgroove as a user so he can?
That's a great question. So you'll add him on Stripe. You can also add him as a user in Eventgroove, but he would only be able to see, this information versus if you added him to Stripe, they have a lot more details in all of the transactions that he might be interested in seeing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you're not the person to connect your payment processing up, and you do need your treasurer to come in and do that, you can add them as a user by going to the settings tab here and clicking on users. When you do that, it'll take you to the manage users page where you can add additional users and choose their role. So right now we have 2 roles available. The first one is staff, which gives the individual access to create campaigns. If you're adding your treasurer, you need to add them as an admin because only admins have access to your payment processing section. So once you add those, you can add multiple emails and send all of those invites out at once. So when we're ready, we'll go ahead and click invite. When we hit invite, the platform will send out an invitation email to that individual. And it's really important to let that individual know that they need to click accept in that invite email. When they click accept, that's what that allows the platform to associate them to the club and give them access to your organization. So right here, we just sent over an invite to Cynthia. You can see we have a status as invited. As soon as she clicks accept and creates her user account, then this status will change to accepted. You can also manage users here. So as people change in their roles year to year, you can remove users. If that invite got lost in our inbox, we can also resend the invite. And we can also edit their roles. So maybe this year Cynthia is their treasurer, but she's rolling out of that permission. We could downgrade her to staff if we needed to. So that's how we'll go ahead and manage users. When she's in there, then she'll have access to everything in the organization that we're reviewing today. So hopping back to that start guide, you can see, okay, great, we got our payment, or our verified account is checked, our payment processing is checked. So now next is just additional customizations that you can make on the platform to make the platform and your fundraising campaigns more customized to your club. So we'll just go down through these and kind of chat about how these customize and how you can customize it to your club. The first one is adding your organization detail or your club profile. So you can do that by clicking this item here, or that's located at the top of the settings navigation here on the left. The organizational profile appears on the right-hand side of all of your campaigns. So it's just a nice section to kind of give a general overview of what your Rotary Club is about, where it's located and what they support. So you can set your common display name here for your club. You can also add your club's logo here at the top, and then add an additional description of your club or your organization here at the bottom. If you have additional links or images, videos, you can also add them here. And I'm gonna just click on this preview here so you can see where on the campaign this will pop up. So it will always appear over here on the right-hand side. So it's just a nice way where you don't have to introduce your club every time you create a campaign. This will just appear always over there on the right-hand side. We can also add website links and social links for the club. And then if there's a physical location, you can add that in there as well. And at the very bottom of the organization settings, you can customize the tax exempt statements for receipts. So by default, we will automatically put something in there for you. But if you need to customize it more specifically to your club, you can do that here. And so then that will apply on all of your campaigns going forward. You probably noticed throughout when I was setting up the organization settings, you'll see all these little eyes next to these items, and you'll see this throughout the entire platform. So if you have any questions on like what we're asking or what this relates to, you can click on that eye and a further definition will pop up so you know exactly what we're looking for here. So we'll go ahead and hit save, and we'll hop back to that start guide. Next is adding custom branding for your club. So the platform is already loaded with Rotary approved colors, and it's pre-branded for the Rotary district. By adding custom branding, you can overwrite some of those branding with your own club branding. So if we click branding here or branding over here under settings, we can actually overwrite some of those settings so it's more specific to our club. So once we click enable branding, we can create a subdomain. Most Rotary clubs, when they do create a subdomain, are choosing their club name as the subdomain. So for example, we could use fairbanks.rotary5010gives.org. When we create that subdomain, that link will be a part of every campaign that we create going forward. So that's a really great way to kind of further customize it so it's really unique for your club. And I'm gonna make it so I don't steal it from you. Once you have it, you click save, and that means that we're set and ready. So our custom domain for our club would be always fairbankstraining.rotary5010gives.org. We can also adjust the header height and color, which is this white bar up here. This will also always appear on top of every campaign that we have, but we can customize that and overwrite this District 5010 logo with our own club's logo. So to do that, you would just click here to upload your club's logo. And I don't think I have a club logo available, but you would select that photo and then upload it, and that would replace that District 5010 with your own logo. Same with the favicon. So the favicon is this tiny wheel up here. It's pretty unlikely that you'll have to change that because it is the Rotary approved wheel. But if you needed to, that is also available for you. And then last is the colors of the donor facing pages or your campaign pages. These are all preset to Rotary approved colors, but if there is for some reason a need to change that so it's more unique for your club, you can do that here. The last part of the branding is you can also customize your donor emails coming out of the system. By default, all of the emails will have this Rotary District 5010 image at the top. But if you wanted to replace that with your club's image, you can add your club's logo here. This last section just automatically sets the default terminology for some of your campaigns. You can change this on a campaign by campaign basis, but if you know all of your donors are actually going to be called members, you can preset those settings here at the organization branding level. Okay, we'll go ahead and hit save. We'll see our changes were saved, so we're good to go back to the start guide. After we have our branding customized, we also, every account or every club comes with a supporter center. The supporter center is a landing page that includes all of the active campaigns that your club is running on the platform. So it's a great way to send out to your network to let everyone know what types of campaigns you're running so that they can choose which ones they want to participate in. So before we have that supporter center available, we need to set it up. We can set it up by clicking it right here or by clicking it over on the supporter center over here. So I just clicked into that supporter center, and this is an example of what it could look like. We can customize the background, the header, and then I don't have any campaigns yet because I just started, but below is where all of those campaigns would be listed. So when you're logged in as an admin, at any time you can edit the supporter center, a donation page, or a campaign page by clicking on the little gear down here at the bottom. This will only be available to admins of the organization. So if you were a regular donor coming in, you wouldn't actually see this gear. So let's go ahead and hop into that supporter center so you can see how to customize it. So first, we will choose what we want displayed on that supporter center. We can have the title, the contact information, social media page links, etc. We'll choose that title that we want to show, and then we'll also choose that banner image. So by default, we have a pink banner image, but you could choose some of the preloaded images below, or you can upload your own image as well. Finally is customizing the donate button. That was that green button at the top of the page. You can customize the wording and the coloring on that. And then finally adding a description of the organization. So a description of your club, just to kind of give your supporter center a nice overview. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hit save. And then we can view that supporter center page at any time, hitting view page. So this would be the link that we would share out with our network to show them all of the active campaigns that we're promoting right now. Any questions so far on the supporter center or getting started? Great. All right, hopping back to that getting started guide. So we're just working our way through here. Our last step is adding donation only pages. Donation only pages are a great way to receive donations when you don't have an associated online fundraising campaign. So if you don't have like an active raffle or auction or sale happening, you can always share out a donation page where someone can come in anytime and donate. Donation pages don't have expiration dates, so they live forever until you decide to take them down. So to go to our donation pages, we can click here. Our donation pages are unlimited, so you can make as many donation pages as you need for your club. Some common ones that I see are membership pages. So if you have annual dues, you can set up a reoccurring payment for someone to pay their annual dues. Some clubs have a concept that they call happy sad dollars. So they'll set up a happy sad dollar donation page where they'll donate every time they meet to that donation page for their happy sad dollars. So just to get a preview of what a donation page looks like, and then we'll dive into how to create a donation page. So here is a standalone donation page. You can see it has a dedicated URL, which we can customize, and I'll show you how to do that. We can customize that background image. the header, and then we can also customize the donation amounts that we have listed here. Here's where they can choose if they want to make a weekly, yearly, monthly, reoccurring donation. They can also choose to make a donation in memory or in honor of someone else. Then they'll have their information that they'll enter in, and then the credit card information. Then it just rolls it all up here, and then they just simply need to click donate to donate their funds. So this is kind of the end goal for a donation page. Let's go ahead and hop in to what it takes to set one up. So this page that we're looking at here is very similar to the page that you'll see if you were to create a donation page from scratch, just by clicking donation pages and creating your own. Donation pages only require 2 steps. They're the most straightforward way to start accepting funds for your club. The first step is just setting up the donation page itself. So choosing the worders that supporters will see. You know, if it's a member facing page, perhaps you want to call it members instead of supporters or donors. Creating the title. We can also create a subtitle. Selecting our time zone. And then choosing when you want the donation page to start. This is an option that's on all of our campaigns as well. When you choose this first option, immediately start when you click publish, means as soon as you publish your donation page, it will be live and active and people can start donating. If you choose, you can also choose to have your donation page start at a specific day and time. So your page will be live and people can visit it, but they won't be able to donate until that designated date and time that you set. Here's where we can upload our background image and then customize that call to action. Next, we'll preset the donation amounts if you want, or you can leave that open so people can choose the amount they want. Set the currency, and then if you want to collect additional information from your donors, you can choose to do so here by requiring a mailing address or a phone number. After that, we can also customize the thank you wording on receipts. So if I would have hit submit on that donation page, it would have taken me to a confirmation page where we would see this wording and a roll up of that contribution. This wording also appears in all of our confirmation emails as well. So this is preloaded text we put in for you, but you can customize any of it so it's more specific to your donation page or more specific to your club. We'll automatically put their first and last name in, as well as your club's name here at the bottom. But if you needed to add links or erase it and start completely from scratch, you can definitely do so. All of our donation pages and all of our campaigns have a functionality that we call text to give. Text to give enables you to create a keyword that's related to your donation page or to your campaign. So let's go ahead and create one. We'll click check availability. And when someone texts this keyword to the platform's phone number, the platform will automatically respond to that text message with a link to the donation page or to the campaign page. So this is really helpful if you're just talking to someone, or if you have posters or flyers, because they don't have to type in a big long URL or search for a link. They can just send a quick text and get access to your campaign. The last step on our first donation page list here is personalizing the page link. So you remember in branding over here, we were able to customize the subdomain, which was Go. But on all of our campaigns and our donation pages, we can also personalize the back half of that link. So if you choose not to, it's totally fine. It'll just be some random numbers and letters, but we can make that more specific to the donation page or to the campaign itself. We'll hit validate to make sure that it is a valid link, and what looks like we're good to go. So technically, the donation page really just needs you to fill out this first page. All of the advanced options are optional, but it just allows us further customization for the donation page itself. So let's go ahead and take a look. In the advanced options and in all of our campaigns, as well as our donation pages, we have a concept of what we call a fund code. A fund code attaches itself to every transaction associated to that campaign, and it follows it all the way through to Stripe. So this is really handy if you have multiple campaigns running on the platform and you need to tell your treasurer where to send those funds or where the funds are coming from. This will be a good indicator for that individual that is managing through Stripe on where the funds are coming from. We can also add funds, or what's more commonly known as causes, to the donation page. And we have the option to overwrite the credit card statements text as well that's coming from the donation page. By default, this text will be your organization's name or your club's name, but if you need to make it more specific to the campaign or to the donation page itself, you can do that here. Next, we can also customize the checkout process for donors. So here it defaults automatically to allow them to make a donation in honor of memory of someone. You can turn that off. You can also allow donors to make a completely anonymous donation as well. We can ask them if we want them to opt in to receive emails from the club. And then if there's any other information you need to gather from that donor, you can create a custom field to do so. This last statement, this is also on all of our campaign pages as well as our donation pages. This gives you an option to add legal information or terms of service that's in relation to that campaign or that donation page. Most commonly where I see this being used is on like an auction or a sales campaign that requires someone to be of age. Perhaps it's, an alcohol basket and it requires them to be over 21 years or older to participate. You can add that text in here and require them to acknowledge that they agree to those terms before they check out. We can add any additional people that we need to notify when a donation is made. We can add their email address in here. And then the last, the pricing option for our donation pages. So there's no platform fee for a donation page. So those come completely at no cost. Eventgroove doesn't gain any revenue for you creating donation pages, but Stripe will still charge you that processing fee. So you can choose who funds that processing fee here. You can choose the organization or the club will cover that fee. You can choose to pass that fee directly on to the donors. Or the last option, which is kind of the best of both worlds, you can ask donors if they want to cover that Stripe fee for you. If they choose to cover the fee, great, that's no cost to you. If they choose not to cover the fee, then you will cover that Stripe fee. We normally find that this third option, about 75% of the time, donors will cover that fee for you. So it's a nice way to ask them to cover the fee without forcing them to do it. And most of the time they opt to cover that fee for you because they're supporting your cause. And then the last item on the advanced options are FAQs. So we can add additional questions that are in relation to our donation page at the bottom by adding an FAQ. To do that, you can just click Create FAQ, write your question, and then write your answer, add additional links or formatting if you need to. From there, we can always save, and at any point in time, you can also save. So saving means that it will save it as a draft, and you can come back at any time to continue editing until you're ready to publish. So we already took a look at this page, but let's take a look at it one more time. Once we've completed all those options, we can view that page at the bottom, and then that will take us directly to that donation page so we can see how it looks. And once you're ready, you can start sharing that out with your network. So with donation pages and with campaigns, we can come in and edit them at any time. Once it's published, there are still lots of things you can come in and edit and change if you need to. To do that, you can just click this tile edit donation page right here. After you're launched and you started accepting funds, you can also view all the donations in relation to that donation page by clicking on that donation tile. This just launched, so I probably don't have anyone donating quite yet, but you'll see here once we start receiving those donations, we can view all of them in relation to that page here. And we can also see all of the donors that donated to that page here. Once we have some donors information in here, we'll also have an option to export it at the bottom. When you export it, the platform will email you a CSV file, so then you can slice and dice it in Excel if you need to. If you receive funds offline, for example, if it was Happy Sad Dollars and you ran into a member over lunch and they just gave you some cash for it, you can add those external donations by clicking on this tile here, where you can track and add all of those offline donations as well. So to add an offline donation, you'll click Add Donation, and then enter in all of that information of that individual that was donating to the donation page. And then the same information here, once you have that listed, it will have a preview of that information here, but you'll also be able to export it at the bottom if you need to. And last but not least, on our dashboard page, we can also create a widget. So all of our campaigns and donation pages have this functionality. A widget is a little preview that you can put on your website that previews into the donation or the campaign page. So you can customize what that looks like here. And once you're happy with the look and feel of it, you can click Save and Get Code, and that will generate a code for you to copy and paste onto your core site so that you can view this preview right here on your core site. So that's a great way to kind of cross-promote any donation pages or any fundraising campaigns. All right, clicking Manage Campaign again. So those are all of the tiles when it comes to managing a donation page. I will also note there's a nice roll up over here on the left-hand side where you can view your donation page at any time, and a nice roll up of the dollar amount raised, the total donors, and the total views of that page. And as the organizer, you can share out, there's some quick share links here at the bottom. So if you want to share it on your social, that's a nice, easy way to get access to just make a quick post. All right, so how are we doing on donation pages? Are there any questions so far? Great. All right, so hopping back down to that start guide, we worked all the way through with starting with the 2 required steps of verifying your account and setting up the payment processing. We also went through the additional customization options in the details section here. And you'll see we got green check marks next to each, which means that we've updated or completed those steps. So you can access that Get Started guide anytime here. You can also dive directly into those settings just on this left-hand nav as well. So with that, if there aren't any questions, we'll go ahead and have additional trainings on creating campaigns and campaign types, which will cover this section up here on creating campaigns where you can start raising money for your clubs. All right, well, we were super efficient on that. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording unless you have any other questions that we wanna capture. All right.